Hi, I'm Bata and I've been playing a lot of Pax Dei since it came out in early access. Today I'm going to talk about my daily and weekly routine in the game. I am focused, as you may know already, on efficient materials farming and acquiring lots of gold. So hopefully this video can give you some ideas about how to better utilize your time in the game. I covered most of the topics I'm going to talk about in previous videos, but I'm going to expand and update them a little bit. I start the day by going to my market stalls and check what I have sold the previous day. There are 3 keys to a successful market stall in my opinion. The first is location. I was lucky to be able to place a plot near the Petra Day when there was a plot cleaning before the new year. Our server, Mimir, is full again almost everywhere now, and it was even acknowledged by the developers. 2 is advertisement. I make a new post with my wares about once a week on the trade channel in the Mimir section of the official Discord channel, and on the Shardwide trade at the community-run Mimir Collective server. And 3, obviously, is to sell items that people are actually looking to buy at reasonable and attractive prices. I made a spreadsheet that helps me price and organize my items for sale. There's a link to the file in the description. The last tab of the file is stock. It's where I keep records of the amount of items that I have sold. I have 3 separate stalls for armor, for weapons and tools, and for magical gear. So this total amount of items at the stall at the bottom helps me get the information quicker. So for example, if I see that in my list I have 23 items in a stall, and in game I have 22 items, I search the items one by one until I find the one that I have sold, and I don't need to search for other items once I found it. I know that the other ones haven't been sold yet. I try to keep at least 3 of each item posted for sale, so if I saw that I sold some, I go and craft some more and put it at the trading post. Unless I'm slacking with my steel production, or I have run out of a specific sigil needed to make a certain magical item. And also I don't replenish the stock when I'm being lazy, that happens quite often. If some items are being sold too fast, I increase the price, and vice versa. I'd guess that real-life retail stores have a system not unlike what I have, albeit probably being a lot more sophisticated. Now that I took care of my market stalls, I can take care of other businesses. As I've said, I need to keep making steel for the non-magical armor and weapons that I'm selling. I removed my steel making plot in Keris, as it was a bit too far away from the pure iron zone, and also far away from my main plot in Ancient, so transporting the steel took a long time. I've been graciously given access to a mining plot in Armagnac, not far away from Lavedan, where my main and market plots are located, since I have run out of plots to put down, and most of the valleys are full anyway. So this is another advantage that you have when being in a good clan. You can use other people's facilities. This plot is fantastic. Look at these stacked charcoal kilns. There are so many of them. And there are 6 big furnaces where I can smelt the steel up above. I only did 2 pure iron runs here so far, but in the second run I got 37 stacks in 47 minutes including travel time, quite a lot better than what I had in Keris. And there are a lot of fir trees near the plot. Close by sapwood is as important, if not more, than pure iron for increasing the steel ingots per minute yield. I believe that I'm not far away from 4 steel ingots per minute now. You don't get silver fir branches from those trees anymore. You get a lot of sapwood and not much else, so these are ideal for getting wood and making coal fast. If you are planning to put down a steel making plot, 5 furnaces and 40 charcoal kilns are enough for a single pure iron run. Even with 40 stacks of ore you don't need to do refills. There is just enough space for the sapwood in the kilns and steel slots at the furnaces with 5 and 40. I don't do many pure iron runs though. I don't keep the furnaces working 24/7. I just make steel when I need it to replenish my armor and weapon stocks. I don't mind mining ore and chopping trees, but there are more fun activities that you can do in the game, which also give you a good amount of money and materials. Speaking of which, I still do the Inquisitor camps runs from time to time, to get gold, relics and lockets from magical items, silver and gold ingots, and other items such as amber and iron ingots. I optimized these runs a little bit. I now use the 200 axe in addition to the 200 mace. I switch between them after each weapon's special attack. I do 100-minute runs. I use 5 dense wheatbreads and 5 elderberry syrups and 4 dressed up porridges. That's exactly 100 minutes of food buffs. I also use about 25 health potions for a single run, but if you want you can be a bit less aggressive with the pulls and use the healing spells more often, so you won't use that many potions. 100 minutes is enough time for me to do 5 laps of 4 to 5 Inquisitor camps, sometimes I skip the small one. And it's also the time it takes for my inventory to fill up and for the weapons to break down. I do have a plot in Armagnac near the Inquisitor camps where I can repair the weapons on the way anyway. And if everything goes to plan, I get almost 2k gold in those 100 minutes. I do die from time to time when I'm being too greedy though. I used to do these runs in Lavedan, but I saw this location in Armagnac with 5 Inquisitor camps in a circle, and I wanted to see if it's a better farming spot. It turned out to be as good as the Lavedan location, not better, but there's something else in this location, a lot of flax. The first time I came here I saw flax everywhere and several plots with many looms, so I thought yeah, this is a good location to farm flax and get levels and tailoring. I tried to see how much flax I can get before the counter resets. I believe it resets after you haven't picked up the item for 3 seconds or so. My record sits at 1286 currently, and I believe I can do even better. I don't even need it, I'm at 40 tailoring already, but it is a degenerate way for me to have fun. I don't do hydrants anymore, I just can't get to 3 large hides a minute. And the prices of large hides and boiled and fine generic leather on the server are quite low. Mine are set at 9 gold per one, and many other players sell it for a bit cheaper. But if you're okay with selling it cheaper, boiled generic leather is a hot item right now. It's at the top of the search on the Pax Dei database website, I'm not even sure why. I guess people are leveling their leatherworking skill currently. I'm currently using my 4 plots in this way. One is at the clan city, which has all crafting stations and many storage boxes, most of them containing steel pickaxes that I used to level weaponsmithing with. This is my main base of operations. I have the market plot not too far away, next to the Petra Dei. I have a plot, as I said, near the Inquisitor camps, for farming them and also for competitive flax gathering, I guess. And I have a plot at the east border of Lavedan, which is close to many valuable wildland resources, such as limestone, granite, tier 2 iron and others. And I use a plot which I've been granted access to for making steel. I have an out there, so I don't need to use my main for it. I've leveled blacksmithing to 30 on that character, so he can make the steel, and he's also max level in mining and woodcutting now. And that leads us to the last part of my routine, which is the dungeons. There were less dungeon runs recently with the holiday break, but now people are coming back, and there will be more of them. Our clan has a run once or twice a week, and I also join other clans' dungeon runs from time to time. I'm really tired of running to the dungeons though. The teleport function using Grace couldn't come soon enough. The closest big dungeon to us is Duralise, and I'm okay with running only this dungeon until we get the teleport. I do have a couple of outs close to the Pleasant and Pelipis dungeons. I'll guess if we will do them before the Grace update, I'll ask someone who's running from the city to grab items from my main to give to my alt. I'm not going to run 45 minutes to a dungeon anymore. Hopefully. As you probably already know, the dungeons are worth doing not only for the tattered crimsons and relics from named NPCs, but also for gold as well, which drops from the enemies and is found in the loot piles. Yesterday we had a random person with no gear who joined us for the dungeon run. He didn't speak, maybe his English isn't good. He couldn't loot the NPCs anyway since he wasn't invited to the 2 parties we had, but he did tag along and looted the loot piles. So I guess if you're a solo player, you can go close to a dungeon entrance. You can try to get inside if you have decent gear and some spells, or you can wait until a group comes along which clears the way to the dungeon entrance. Once you're inside the dungeon, you can check now and then if there's a group run in the dungeon. You can just tag along and get the loot piles on the way. It's not the most exciting way to play the game, but you can get a good amount of gold from the loot piles, and other good drops such as tattered and crimsons as well. So if you have spare outs, I guess you could do that. In some dungeons you can get 1k gold per hour from just doing the loot piles. I wish that the loot pile exploit would be fixed. There's at least one loot pile where you can park your character and log every now and then when the loot resets to get the items from it. A simple short-term solution can be placing an NPC close to the loot pile, so it won't be safe to log back onto the game while standing near it. So that's why I suggest you think twice before spending a lot of money on tattered sigils, crimson ornate cliches, and magical armor and weapons with high tier spells which use these components to make the item, since they may have come from such an exploit. You can do all content in the game without these items. You can get the highest level non-magical armor and weapons for pretty cheap. You can fill all armor slots with the highest level non-magical armor for 2k gold or less, I sell it at that price. And you can get by with lower tier spells that you can get playing solo or duo from the Inquisitor camps, or you can buy them as well. I sell some of these magical items for pretty cheap, between 160 and 320 gold. Well, that's how my daily and weekly routine looks like. Since I'm making videos about the game, sometimes I do other activities for the footage and the information. I have an out on the RP server, where I want to show solo progression in Pax Dei from scratch in 2025. But let me tell you, leveling professions again just for content is not fun. I hope I can plot through it somehow. Well, this is it for this video. I know that I covered most of what I spoke about in older videos, I hope you don't mind me repeating myself. You can check my other videos on the channel, like the one popping on the screen now. Check the description below for some useful Pax Dei links and also links to my Twitch and my second YouTube channels. Thanks for watching and see you in the next one.